Welcome back to the Tool Shed. Screw you, Johnny. This is a tool that I use, and it's a funny one. By definition, it's funny. Now, you have to, think of your Johnny. Let me tell you what that means. So, worked with a woman a while back who was very, let's say, neurotic. I mean, by her own self-admission, like every thing she was dealing with, particularly ailments, felt like the beginning of the end. And it got almost to the point where it was absurd, and she knew it. And we were talking one day about a skin tag she had, I think it was on her butt. And it was escalating. I mean, it was like trivial. It was not cancerous. It was just a nothing. She knew it. I think she even had looked at like twice. And when we were talking, she needed help. How do I get over this? Right? These things, these issues. And it doesn't just have to be physical ailments. I mean, it can be the news. You know how many people I talked to today who have this, a particular political person, figure has a grip on them, or what's happening in the Middle East, or what's happening with your daughter-in-law, whatever it might be. They take their grip on us, their power over us. And our work in this lifetime is to take back our power, as Dr. Viktor Frankl says, to choose our response. We don't want to live a life of reaction. Well, how do we respond? That's what the Tool Shed is all about. This one, though, is unique because it's silly. I have some other silly ones, but this is one of the more silly ones. So what did we do? We named her butt tag, or I don't know, the skin tag. We named it. Well, what did we name it? I said, I want you to go back to grade school, and I want you to pick out the kid you hated the most, the bully on the playground. And I even forgot what she said, but I just call him Johnny now whenever I do it because, it's just a generic name. Sorry, all the Johnnies out there. But let's just say she said it was Johnny. I hated that kid. He was so annoying. He was so mean. And I said, okay, well, this is a butt tag, and now we get to have the last laugh because 40 years since you've seen that kid, and now he is the name of this little piece of annoying skin on your ass. And so we called him Johnny. And what happened? She'd wake up in the morning and she'd get worried about that little wart or whatever it was, and she would say, Johnny, get out of here. I'm going back to bed. And she would giggle. I think her husband was like, what the hell? My wife is now talking to her skin tag on her butt, calling it Johnny. Okay, but at least she's laughing. So what is this about? This comes from deep teaching, not this exact one, but from Dr. Viktor Frankl in logotherapy. It's called paradoxical intention. And that's just a fancier word for screw you, Johnny. It's paradoxical intention is we become hyper-focused on these things. And they suck us dry. They pull us in. They got our number. And once they get their grip in you, it's very hard to let them go. And sometimes when you try and get free from whatever that issue is, it could be as serious as drugs too. I mean, or eating disorders. In the eating disorder world, oftentimes they'll call eating disorders ED, right? Eating disorders, and it's a paradoxical intention. It's trying to strip the thing of its power over us. And so one of the ways we can do that is by humor, because sometimes when you're serious, you're just feeding it more energy, and no matter how good the intention or the tool, it still has its grip over you. However, paradoxical intention is laughing. It's making it absurd. It's taking back your power. Viktor Frankl calls it humor is a weapon of the soul. By drawing upon that weapon to cut the ties that thing has to you. I don't care what it is. Naming it Johnny. Screw you, Johnny, right? It can be something as big as cancer. It can be something as small as a butt tag. It can be anything in between. It's about finding the right way to strip it of its power, to take back your power. Because if you want to heal, let's say your illness, you feeding the cancer, you feeding the pain, maybe it's a chronic pain, is just giving it more of you. But naming it, making it a silly name, stripping it, is a way to take back your power. Here's a great example. For thousands of years, Jews have celebrated the holiday of Purim. Purim is a holiday when we celebrate, every Jewish holiday can be summed up as they tried to kill us, we won, let's eat. This one was the Persians who tried to kill us, led by a man named Haman. Haman was the Hitler of his time. If you go to a synagogue on Purim, you'll see a lot of drunk Jews making fun of Haman, by yelling out his name, yelling boo, kids writing Haman on the bottom of their feet and stomp on the ground as they read the story of Haman. We even make little cookies called Hamantaschim, but they're really Haman. We make cookies about him. We're mocking him. We've stripped him of his power. You say Hitler, we're still too close to it. And Jews today still feel that terror. But Haman now is a joke because we have enough distance and enough paradoxical intention to strip that tyrant of his power. It was enough that he murdered us. It's not right or fair to now give him the power to have that grip over us thousands of years later. I would argue the same is true with Hitler, right? We got to get to a point where, well, we have, like Mel Brooks did that comedy around Hitler. I just blanked on the name of it, the production, that's what it's called. Anyways, Jews have been using humor for thousands of years. It's not disrespectful. It's not irreverent. It's in the right time, in the right place. It's absolutely necessary because it shows that we will not allow you, a butt tag or Hitler and everything in between, to have power over me. I will take back my autonomy, my agency. Screw you, Johnny. So find your own version of screw you, Johnny, and bring it to your butt tag, to genocides, and to everything in between. I will see you in the next video.